Okay, hello everyone. We have finished the first chapter of the literature book. Okay, as you, if you have purchased the set of book, beta, you know you have the literature book. Then you have the workbook of that literature book. So two books there. Then this is the third book, Oliver Twist. It's a story book for you, and this also is part of your literature only. Fine. So out of this also in the question paper, questions come. Okay, so let's do this book today. We have finished the first chapter, the second poem, and the second chapter of literature. Fine. Workbook also, PDF I will share. Fine. The exercises, whatever we have to do, the important ones, I will share the PDF. And in the workbook, we have an unseen passage also, beta. If you remember, in all the workbooks, we have a passage which you have to solve. So that passage, I have not solved it for you. That is your work. You have to read that passage in the workbook. I'm talking about the workbook now. Okay, in the workbook, you have to do the passage for on your own, read the passage and solve the question answers. And the exercises, the main exercises which have to be done, I had done it already, and I will share the PDF with you. Fine. Now this is the third book which you have, Oliver Twist. It is a novel. It's a very interesting novel, beta. So let's see what this novel is about. So this is the cover page of that book, Oliver Twist. Charles Dickens is the author of this novel. Okay. So here is the first page. Now wait, Peter, let's just enlarge it a little. Okay, I hope this is enough. Here everyone can see. Fine. So this is the introductory page. The lesson, the novel has not started. The first lesson has not started. Just the introductory page is there. Okay, Oliver Twist. Dickens wrote Oliver Twist in the year 1837-38. The dates are important. Now, why these dates are important, 1937 and 38? In 1934, Parliament passed a new poor law. Now, in the year 1934, the government passed a poor law. This is the name of the law. As the name suggests, poor law means the law for the poor. This law was based on the idea that there was work for everyone. And if a person had no work and no money, it was because he or she was lazy and did not want to work. Okay, somewhat it is true, beta. There is work for everyone. If you want to work, you can work, provided you have the will to work. And if you don't work, that means you are just lazy. You want somebody else to feed you. So that should not be done. Your attitude should be to do something and earn your living, not be a burden on somebody and just depend that the government will feed you, or your landlord will feed you, or your parents will feed you. That should not be your attitude. Okay. So for such people, the local government, for such people means the lazy ones, not the ones who are, you want to work. The ones who are lazy, are dependent upon others, are blaming the government or anyone else for their misfortune. So for such people, the local government provided a workhouse. Now, workhouse is a place in which these people, the government had built these workhouses, and they had provided the basic, very, very basic necessities in this workhouse with beds and foods, but it must not be comfortable. Or the idea was poor might want to stay there instead of looking for work. Yeah, but it is our human nature. If we get something without working, just lying down, if we get it, then why not go in for it? Na? So the government thought that, okay, we will take responsibilities of this lazy people, but we will only give them the minimum requirement so that they don't die on the road. And so they were given beds, but not those cozy, comfortable beds with nice big thick mattresses and nice bed sheets and pillows and this and that. It was just a hard bed, wooden bed, or a steel or a iron bed, है ना? Not very comfortable. The food was minimum, जिसको बस जीने के लिए जो जरूरी है, पतले पतला दाल जैसा, पानी जैसा ना, something like that. So that if those people were given very comfortable stay, then to everyone will go in the workhouse only and stay. They will say, why to work when we are getting such a comfortable life there? So the government did give them bed and food and a place to live, but it was not very good. Nobody wanted to live there because the situation was very bad in those workhouses. Okay. So the workhouses were unfriendly places. inhuman. Inhuman means no human would like to live there. They were pathetic. The conditions were very bad there. Dickens thought, let me scroll up a little. Dickens thought there nobody would want to remain if he or she could find work. So the government had made those places so unfriendly that okay, if for 2 3 days, 4 5 days, while you were searching for work, if you want to stay, you can stay, but nobody would like to stay there for the long run, not years after years, until and unless you have some bad problem or is there. Okay, the people who controlled them were sometimes unfeeling men. Unfeeling men, those men who were looked after the workhouse were had no feeling. They were patthar dil aadmi the, matlab they had no mercy on the people who were there. Okay, almost like Mr. Bumble in Oliver Twist. This is the character which you will see in Oliver Twist. He is the person who is in charge of the workhouse where Oliver Twist was. Okay, another act of parliament Another act of parliament that was beginning to have an effect was the Metropolitan Police Act of 1829. Okay, this was another act which was coming into force. That act set up a police force for the capital. Now, this act was meant for the police force, and they were trying to have a police force for the capital, for the city. By the time Dickens was writing Oliver Twist, the police had become effective enough to make it hard for the murderers like Bill Skees to escape. So, after this act was implemented, the police had the right to catch the thieves, the culprits, the murderers, everyone, and they were given very strict punishment. They were not yet able to put an end to all the crime that is represented in this book by Fagin and his gang of boys thieves. So this police department was given all the rights, every right was given in their hand to punish the cruel criminals. So on the one hand, it was the law was passed for the workhouse, and the other hand, it was seen that the criminals don't go free. It was a time of cruel punishments if a criminal was caught. That is why in the story, the evil monks want Fagin to turn Oliver into a thief. Now, this you will know after you read some chapters. You will come to know why this monks is the head of the criminals, na? And he wanted to Fagin is his accompaniment. Why does he want Oliver to become a thief? Even a boy of Oliver's age could be hanged for a serious crime. So that is how the government had empowered the police, that if people are committing serious crime, they can be hanged, even a boy of tender age. It was a time when national and local governments did little to help those people who were old, ill, or badly treated by employers and others. But there were also kind people like Mr. Brownlow, Mrs. Melai, Rose, who were ready to help those who were less fortunate than themselves. This is true in every century, beta, hai na? People are bad, people are good also. You can't say that all are bad, hai na? Then the world will not move on like this, right? Okay. So there were good people also. There are good people in this story who help Oliver, and there are bad people also in this story who try to turn Oliver into a criminal. Okay, let's move on. So this is just the beginning. Okay, now the chapter begins here. This is chapter 1. Oliver asks for more. Let's read. Among other buildings in the town in England, there was a house for poor people. Now, you know what house? Poor people workhouse. They went there when they had no money and nowhere to live. It was called the workhouse. So there was a building in England where poor people used to come when they didn't have any place to live and no money to feed themselves. Oliver Twist was born in the workhouse. His mother, a young woman, lay ill in bed. A doctor and an old woman stood by her side. So the opening of the story is that Oliver Twist is born in a workhouse, because workhouse, if he is born in a workhouse, means his parents could not afford for him to be born in a good hospital. So his mother was a young woman, lay ill in the bed. She was very weak, very ill, and bimar thi bichari. She didn't have money to go to the doctor, so she was taken to the workhouse. Now there, a doctor and an old woman stood by her sighed. Let me see the child and die, the young woman said. Oh, that poor young woman who was giving birth to Oliver Twist, she was about to die and she knew it. So she just asked the doctor and the old woman to so that hand over the child to me so that I can see the child before I die. She knew she's going to die. Oh, you must not talk about dying yet, said the doctor. The doctor said, no, you're not going to die, dear. Please don't worry about dying. Don't talk like that. No, dear, said the old woman. You are too young to die. And the old woman who's standing beside her, she's also saying, no, dear, you are not going to die. Don't talk like this. जब कोई मरने की बात करता है, हम naturally हम उससे कहते हैं, नहीं ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. क्यों मरने की बात कर रहे हो, है ना? Okay, the young woman shook her head and held out her hands towards the child. But the young woman said, I know I'm going to die. You are just saying this because you are a doctor, and the old woman also don't want to see me say these words. So, but I know in my head that I'm going to die. Just give me that child so that I can hold him in my arms, and then, okay, I can say goodbye and go in peace. Okay, let me scroll this up a little. Here we are. The doctor put the child in her arms. She pressed her cold white lips to its face. Cold white lips means but तो खून नहीं था, बिल्कुल सफेद हो रखी थी बेचारी, है ना? And then fell back and died. So the moment she held that boy in her arms, she kissed him and then she died. She's dead, said the doctor. Yes, poor dear, said the old woman as she took the child away from its dead mother. Poor dear. Now, both the doctor and the old woman felt very bad that the young woman had died. She was a good-looking girl, said the doctor as he put his hat and gloves. Where did she come from? Now, the doctor work was over. The child had been delivered. Now, there was nothing else he could do. So, he had to go and see the other patients. So, he just said, okay, moved, he picked up his hat and gloves, and then just while going out, he just asked, where did she come from? Kahan se aayi thi wo? She was brought here last night, said the old woman. She was lying in the street. She had walked a long way and her shoes were worn out. Worn out means torn, फट गए थे. इतना चल के आई थी कि उसके जूते बिल्कुल फट गए थे. Nobody knows where she came from or where she was going. So the old woman informs the doctor that nobody knows where she came from. She was lying on the streets and we picked her up and brought her here. Okay. The doctor raised the dead woman's left hand. Now, left hand, children, we normally left hand we have our engagement rings, or like in Christians when they get married, they have the wedding ring on their fingers. And so the doctor raised the dead woman's left hand. The old story, he said. I see she has no ring on her finger. She was not married. Good night. So if there was no ring on her finger, and the doctor assumed that she was not married, and still she had a baby boy. So that means somebody had ill-treated her and just left her like this. That is why she was in this condition. He went home to his dinner. The old woman sat down on the chair in front of the fire and began to dress the baby. The old woman took the baby in her arms. The old woman, है ना, दादी जैसी होती हैं, तो कोई भी बच्चा उनको बहुत उस पर प्यार आता है. तो she took the baby in her hand and she tried to dress him up, cover him up. Let's move to the second page. Here we are. She dressed him in very old clothes used for a baby born in the workhouse. Now, when our children are born, we dress them in nice clothes, and we buy new clothes from the shops, pretty small little things, but this child was born in a workhouse, so she didn't have much to cover him with. So whatever she found, old clothes, anything, she wrapped the child in that. A poor child without father or mother, born in a world which has no love or pity for him. So she's thinking, poor child, he didn't have a father. I don't know where the father is, and now the mother is also gone. And now this poor child has to live in this world without the parents, without the love of the parents. No? So she was pitying that boy. From the age of 9, Oliver had to work. Now, till the age of 9, till Oliver was 9 years old, he didn't have to work because he was too small to work. But when he reached 9, he had to work. He had to do some work. So till 9 years, he was there in the workhouse only. He had only 3 meals of soup every day. And what was the food given to him? 3 meals were given, obviously, breakfast, lunch and dinner maybe, and they were all soups. The soup was very thin, बहुत पतला पतला soup था. हम soup बनाते हैं घर में तो कितना गाढ़ा thick सा soup होता है ना. The soup was very thin. It was made by boiling very little meat and some roots in a lot of water. Okay, so the soup was made by using meat and some roots. He had a small piece of bread on Sunday, and only on Sundays they were given some bread also. So basically the food was only the soup. That too very thin, pani jaisa soup. Okay. The room in which the boys were fed was a big hall. So there was a big hall in which they were served the food. A large pot stood at one end. When it was time for meals, a master served the soup from the pot to the boys. So when the meal time was there, a person used to stand there with a big pot, and in that pot the soup was there. He used to pour it out into the bowls of the boys. They were not supposed to take it on their own. They were given the soup. Every boy had one small bowl of soup and no more. And they had only one bowl. You can't ask for the second one. The bowl never needed washing. The boys cleaned them with their soup until they shone. तो बेचारे बच्चे मतलब वो सूप जो बाउल था उसको कभी धोने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. क्यों नहीं पड़ती थी? बिकॉज बच्चे उसे से रगड़ के साफ कर देते थे. बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली विद वन जस्ट स्मॉल बोल ऑफ सूप you can't quench your thirst, neither you can no, you always want to have more. So that is why they used to eat it, drink it rather, till the last drop. Oliver Twist and his friends grew so wild and hungry that they decided to choose a boy to walk up to the master after supper and ask for more. Now, once every child wanted to have more because their stomachs were not full with that small bowl of soup. So they decided that they will ask one boy to walk up to that master, to the person who is serving the soup, to give them more. And the boy who they chose was Oliver Twist. So they said, okay, Oliver Twist is the one who's going to ask master that please give me some more. I am more hungry. Okay. The evening arrived and the boys took their places. So it was supper time, dinner time. So all the boys took their places in that big hall. The master stood by the pot and the soup was served. It disappeared quickly. Everyone drank their soup. The boy whispered and made signs to Oliver. After everyone had finished, they all started signaling to Oliver that, okay, now get up, go and ask for more. He rose from the table and went to the master. Please, sir, he said, I want some more. So he went to the master and requested him, sir, please, can I have some more? So one more bowl of soup. The master looked with surprise at the small boy. The master was really very shocked that how come this boy had the guts to ask for more soup. What? Said the master at last in a faint voice. So he was really shocked. Please, sir, said Oliver, I want some more. So Oliver repeated himself. He said, so, sir, please, I am hungry. Can I have some more soup? The master hit Oliver with his spoon. The master got so angry that the spoon with which he was serving the soup, he hit Oliver with it. Then seized him in his arm and cried for help. Then seized him in his arm, पकड़ लिया उसे कस के, है ना, and cried for help. किसी को बुलाने लग गया. Mr. Bumble came rushing into the room. Now, Mr. Bumble, remember, he's in charge of the workhouse, so he called for the main person, and that person came. Mr. Bumble was an important officer in the town. The master told him what Oliver had said. So he informed Mr. Bumble that this boy is asking for more soup. Here's the photograph, beta. Here's the doctor. This is the doctor. This is the old woman. Okay. And this is the young one. Young lady. And this is the child. Fine. Okay. Go ahead. Here is the workhouse. These are all boys sitting. Fine. He's asking for more soup. Okay. Fine. He asked for more. Mr. Bumble cried. I can hardly believe it. The boy will live to be hanged. So Mr. Bumble was also surprised that how come this boy had the guts to walk up to you and ask for more soup. So something has to be done with it. He took Oliver away and shut him up in the dark room. And the punishment which he got was he was shut up in the dark room. He was thrown in a dark room and doors were closed for him. The next morning, a notice appeared on the gates of the workhouse. This notice offered £5 to anybody who would take Oliver Twist. Now, the workhouse didn't want the boy who wanted to have more soup. So they pasted a notice at the gates of the workhouse that anyone who's interested in taking this boy will be given 5 pounds. Means you don't only take the boy with you, you are given a reward of 5 pounds. ना जब हम कोई चीज लेते हैं तो हम पैसे देते हैं, लेते थोड़ी ना है. So the person who will take Oliver from the workhouse, he will take Oliver also, and he will be given 5 pounds also. Oliver was a prisoner in that dark room for a whole week. The weather was cold. Every morning he was taken to wash in the yard. Wash means to take bath. No, he was taken in the yard and there he was given a bath. And Mr. Bumble beat him with a stick and he was beaten also. Then he was taken into the hall where the boys had their soup and Mr. Bumble beat him in front of everybody. And after he was given a bath, he was taken to the hall where all the boys were sitting having their soup and he was beaten in front of the boys also. Now, why was he beaten in front of the boys? So that everyone can see that this is what will happen if you ask for more soup. He cried all day and could not sleep at night. But one day outside the workhouse gate, Mr. Bumble met Mr. Sowerberry. Okay, there's another character introduced here. Okay, so one day what happened that outside the gate there was a person named Mr. Sowerberry. Mr. Sowerberry was a tall, thin man who made coffins for dead bodies. Coffins, I hope everyone knows, when which you place the dead Christians put dead bodies in the coffin and then they bury that coffin into the ground. Fine, they don't burn their dead body. So this person used to make coffins. Many of his coffins were for the poor people who die in the workhouse, and because the condition of the workhouse was so pathetic that mostly people didn't survive much and they used to die here. So Mr. Sowerberry used to supply coffins to the workhouse. I have prepared the coffins for 2 women who died last night, said Mr. Sowerberry to Mr. Bumble. He had come there to deliver the 2 coffins. He told there 2 women died last night, so I have come here to deliver these coffins. Good, said Mr. Bumble. By the way, you don't know anybody who wants a boy, do you? And 5 pounds? He raised his stick and pointed to the notice on the gate. So Mr. Bumble, by chance, he thought he will inform Mr. Sowerberry that, okay, do you know anyone who wants a boy as a help? किसी को चाहिए एक लड़का help के लिए, and we will also give them 5 pounds if they take this boy. So he raised his stick and pointed to the notice. There the notice is pasted on the gate. You can see the notice and inform me if anybody is in need of the boy. So with this bit we come to the end of the first chapter. I hope you understood the lesson. And now let's move on to the question answers. We don't have many question answers in every lesson. We just have 4 in this. So I'm going to share the question answers with you. Okay, beta. So chapter 1, Oliver asked for more question answers. Fine. So here they are. Okay, the first question is, where did Oliver's mother die? Very simple. Oliver's mother died in the workhouse. She died there only. What food did the boys have every day? The boys had a bowl of soup every day. That's enough. What did Oliver say to the master? Oliver said, please, sir, I want some more soup to the master. This is what he said. How much was offered to anyone who would take Oliver? So 5 pounds was offered to anyone who would take Oliver. So these are the 4 questions. Please make a copy for the story. Fine. I hope you have made the literature copy. Literature copy is separate and this is a story copy. So you can write these 4 questions in your copy and learn them too. So bye for now, beta. We'll meet next time with the new video. Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye.